What's poppin'? Welcome back to the station. Welcome back to the channel. Y'all know who it is, your boy Ray G. You can find me on X at Ray GQ. That's QUE. Shout out to the bros out there, frat brothers out there watching the show, tapping in from all over the world. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the station, we have a good time. We talk ball, schematic fits, player takes, evaluations, teams. What do they need? More than just giving the opinion on who I think is going to be the next All-Pro or not. We're going to talk through these landing spots, situations, things that we're hearing in the NFL, the Giants and Matthew Stafford, T. Higgins, Aaron Rodgers. How does that news and those rumors fuel or impact the NFL draft? So we got a dope one we're going to take a look at. We have a damn good time just talking ball here. Comments are dope. Appreciate everybody that shows love on the channel. If you have not checked out my mock off of a mock, a creative new thing. I don't see anybody in the mock draft space doing it. But I dropped a video on Monday where I take a look at somebody's round one and then we complete either round 2 and round 3. And this one we did 2 and 3. So make sure you pull up, check out all the draft content on the channel. Ollie Gordon prospect profile going up tomorrow, as well as Ted McMillan towards the end of the week. So stick around. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk ball. Take a look at this mock. Is DJ right? Is he wrong? Let's comment below. Let's get into the video right now. All right, let's pull up the board, see what DJ did. See what he did in round 1 of this mock, Jeremiah's mock. Let's talk through it right now. At the top of the board, Tennessee takes Abdul Carter, followed by Cleveland taking Cam Ward. A lot of talk right now about the Browns and Shedeur Sanders. A lot of dots trying to be connected there. Shedeur had a little clip on X on the social media feed yesterday where he said he only plays with the Browns on Madden. Now, I'm not sitting here thinking that's going to impact or influence what the hell the Browns do, but all the narrative and all the talk around Shedeur being this non-leader, bad kid, it seems like all of that shit is dissipating before we know it. He and Cam Ward are going to be the top 2 quarterbacks off of the board come April. Whether it's Cleveland, Tennessee, the Giants, the Raiders, somebody is getting one of those 2 kids to be their upcoming quarterback here in 2025. And in this mock, Daniel Jeremiah says the Cleveland Browns select Cam Ward. The arm talent is there. QB1 or QB2 doesn't matter to me. These are the top 2 quarterbacks, tier 1 in this class, and the Browns get one of those guys. Let's move on down the board. At 3, I did this in my mock draft 2 mocks ago. Giants take Travis Hunter. I do not believe that Cam Ward nor Shedeur Sanders are the answer to what Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen want to do, which is keep their damn job. I do not believe that they are the answer to what Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen want to do, which is retain their job as GM and head coach. The best quarterback to give them that chance of holding on to those jobs and competing in a very difficult division is a veteran quarterback. Now, that may not be in the best interest of what the Giants should do, which is rebuild for the long term. Do this thing the right way. Get a young quarterback. Grow with that quarterback. But the problem is you got a head coach that very well could be a lame duck head coach. If things don't go well for the Giants this year, the GM is gone and Brian Daboll is gone. And when that happens, most of the times, the new coach, the new GM, they want to shop for the groceries and cook the meal. They're not going to roll with a quarterback of a failed regime. Very rarely does that happen. So if you're the Giants, if you don't believe that Ward, or in this case Sanders, is that type of quarterback that can withstand a head coach change, a GM change, an OC change, don't even fool around with one. Take the Heisman Trophy winner, take a tone setter, take a difference maker, take somebody that's going to put butts in seats and be a very, very good help on the defensive side of the ball, maybe play sporadically on offense. Take Travis Hunter and punt quarterback to 2026. I think this is the right move by the Giants. Take Travis Hunter, leave the quarterbacks alone, even though Giants fans are like, we want Sanders. I get it. What you don't want is to take Sanders, have a new head coach come in, and then blow everything up. And now you've wasted a quarterback. You've ruined them. Just don't do it. Take Travis Hunter. I like this pick at 3 for the Giants. Let's move down the board at 4. Will Campbell, very divisive player right now. No way, shape, and form. Some people on the channel, you're insane thinking that the Patriots are going to take a guard this high. He's not that good. Why would New England do this at 4? He's a rock-solid lineman. Whether it's guard, center, we're bitching and complaining about the line now, but what you're going to really be complaining about come September, October, November is when Drake May is running around for his life. And he has no time to throw the ball. And he can't get the ball to the receivers that they signed. They can't do anything offensively because the offensive front can't hold up. Have we not learned this lesson from Chicago with Caleb Williams. So if you don't like Campbell here at 4, trade back, get another lineman. But I think addressing the offensive front, or in my opinion, if they're going to go with a pass catcher, I would trade back and take Tyler Warren. DJ has him taking Will Campbell here at pick 4. Let's keep talking ball at 5. Mason Graham, there's not a lot to say. He is an exquisite defensive tackle. He is disruptive. I'd like him to be a little better versus the run, but this is a dude that is he's the Joe Alt. I heard that last night. Todd McShay said he's the Joe Alt of the defensive line. Just rock solid, not going to bust. You know you've got a 10-year starter with Mason Graham. So he's going to go to Jacksonville at pick 5, and we work our way down the board. There's the Raiders taking Shedeur Sanders at 6. I'm fine with it. You've got a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator, a new regime in Las Vegas, and this is their selection that they make. I feel a lot more confident in Shedeur landing in this type of situation opposed to him going to a spot in New York where it literally could be one and done for the front office there. Raiders and Shedeur, a common pairing. I know there's some Raiders fans out there who would prefer Ashton Jeanty to forego quarterback, kick the can down the road to 2026 or maybe later, get a developmental guy in the 3rd. In my mock off of a mock, I gave the Raiders Jalen Milroe in the 3rd round because in that 1st round, they were selected Ashton Jeanty in round 1. So right here, Shedeur goes to the Raiders at 6. The Jets take the aforementioned Tyler Warren, who I think would make a great fit in pairing in New England with Drake May. The Panthers take Jalen Walker. We've been doing that for multiple months on this channel, so nothing new there. Jalen Walker, 8 overall to the Carolina Panthers. This is a new one. Mike Green jumping up 9th overall to the New Orleans Saints. There's a lot of conversation about Green post-Senior Bowl. Did he really dominate? You know, everyone sees or saw the play against Josh Connerly where he bowled him over, but there were plenty of plays where Minnesota tackle Ariante Ursary stonewalled him multiple times. You saw Gray Zabel do well against Mike Green, but the talent, the physicality, the speed is all there with Green. So if he goes out there and does what a lot of people think he will do at the Combine next week, I can absolutely see a world where this dude is a top 10 pick in the draft. And right here, the Saints, with their defense, giving up so many explosive plays, I like the pick of addressing the trenches on the defensive side of the ball. So the Saints get Mike Green at 9 and 10th overall. The Bears select offensive tackle Kelvin Banks out of Texas. Whether he's tackle, guard, I'm not getting into any of that. Protect Caleb Williams at all costs. Same thing we talked about with Drake May. You saw Carolina do this with the 2 interior offensive linemen last year, and it helped Bryce Young out tremendously this year. Get this young man some help in Chicago. It sounds fun with Jeanty, sounds fun with Tyler Warren, all these other things. Invest in the trenches. Kelvin Banks out of Chicago. Kelvin Banks out of Texas goes to the Chicago Bears at pick 10. At 11, my goodness, the San Francisco 49ers, they get the steal of the draft so far. Will Johnson, cornerback out of Michigan, falls to the 49ers. 6'2", 200-plus pounds, technician. Pick sixes, ball skills, can tackle, incredible technically sound cornerback. Will Johnson going to the Niners here. This would be unfair. This would be a great get for San Francisco. I've not seen a corner mock to them yet. It's been D-line, O-line. Hell, I've even thrown Ashton Jeanty in there in a mock. But Will Johnson falling to 11. This would hurt my heart as a Cowboys fan, picking right there at 12, right after the Niners. But let's see who Dallas takes in DJ's mock. Will Johnson and the Niners, and the Dallas Cowboys take Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. A lot of people talking about Nolan across the social media spaces right now. Frustrating tape. You see frustrating tape from one, great tape from another, not that good from someone else. I think he's a disruptive interior defensive lineman. Is he the best against the run? No. But in this situation, Osa Odighizu was gone from Dallas. You need somebody that can just impact the middle of that defensive line, make things a little easier for Micah Parsons. I do think Walter Nolan could absolutely do it. It's the first time I've seen him inside of the top 15. I love it. I think he's an incredible defensive tackle prospect. My big board, I'm going to drop that next week right before the Combine. He is going to be a top 15 player on my big board. So Dallas going with the trenches here at pick 12, I think it's a good spot. Replace Osa, give Micah Parsons some relief, some help on that defensive front, and I think Walter Nolan is an incredible defensive tackle. Let's move down the board. You got Tyler Booker, the guard from Alabama, going to the Miami Dolphins. Guard, center, tackle, everyone in Miami keeps saying they need offensive line. Protect Tua Tagovailoa is the utmost importance because if shit hits the fan with him, it's over. Doesn't matter how good your running game is. Offensive line, it looks like Javon Holland's going to be a free agent. Invest up front. Is Tyler Booker the play, especially when you got Josh Simmons on the board at tackle, got some other players on the board? Is Tyler Booker the one here at 13? I feel like this is a little bit of a reach for Booker, seeing him in between like 18 all the way down to round 2 sometimes. So pick 13 seems to be a little high for Tyler Booker, but tell that to Dolphins fans who want to keep Tua upright. Armand Mimbu out of Missouri. A lot of good buzz around this kid being potential top 10 guy, falling to the Colts at 14. There's been a lot of Colts and Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren was off the board 7 picks ago, so that's not a reality, and I don't think he's really going to be on the board at pick 14 come April either. So right here, protect your quarterback, help that running game out, and if Anthony Richardson is not the guy, you've got an offensive lineman, whether he's tackle or guard, that can help solidify that offensive unit for whomever's playing quarterback in Indianapolis. At 15, we know the Falcons need pass rush help, so they go to Georgia, stay home, stay right at home in Atlanta, and they get Mykel Williams out of Georgia. I've given them Mike Green, Mykel Williams, Jalen Walker, Jaheed Campbell in the second round. Falcons fans said they love it, Ray. You give me an edge rusher like Mykel Williams and Jaheed Campbell in the second round, I'm doing backflips. So right here, Atlanta starts it off right with Mykel at 15. Kenneth Grant, very disruptive defensive tackle, bigger guy, playing alongside Mason Graham, but don't get it twisted. It was not just the Mason Graham show. They had Josiah Stewart up front. You had Kenneth Grant up front. And Kenneth Grant at 340 pounds, you see him chasing down Katron Allen on plays. It will be on his draft day highlight package. He can impact the running game and get after the quarterback. So Kenneth Grant, seeing him rise up the board a lot, love it. Big defensive tackle out of Michigan going to Arizona. And they need some help in the trenches on the defensive side. The Bengals get Jahdae Barron. So there's a lot of talk about T. Is T going to be there? Is T not going to be there? The Bengals are like, look, we're going to take care of T. We're going to take care of Trey Hendrickson. What we can't take care of is the secondary. We've got to find some help. Jahdae Barron, I don't know if he's a traditional outside corner. Is he a slot corner? Is he a Jalen Petrie type clone? That's who he reminds me of. Mike Sanderstill, Jalen Petrie, Jahdae Barron. Cincinnati gets a versatile defensive back here at pick 17. My only question would be, is that what Cincy needs? Do they need one of those star-type players, or do they need a true cornerback? Do they need a legitimate safety? I think Barron can play a little bit of both. He's a tweener. He can do a little bit of everything. I just question, is that Cincinnati's biggest priority given the T. Higgins situation and the Trey Hendrickson situation here at pick 17. Let's move to pick 18 and see what Seattle did. On the clock, they took Gray Zabel, interior offensive lineman, guard center, can play tackle, 6'5", dominant at the Senior Bowl. This is the highest I believe I've seen Zabel taken. Normally, he's a pick that we've got pegged to the Green Bay Packers. We've seen him go to the Houston Texans, even a little bit later. But here at 18, I really love this for Seattle. And Seahawks fans say, Ray, we need O-line, O-line, O-line. So they go ahead and attack that position. Tampa Bay at pick 19. Finally, he comes off of the board. Teodoro McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. He is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer in this mock. Wow, have not seen Tet fall this low in any mock. Not one time. And I would kick Dallas in the ass if they passed on McMillan at 12 and let him fall to Tampa Bay. Quite a few teams let him fall here. I don't get this. There are a lot of people pushing these narratives that Trey Harris is better, that Jaden Higgins is better. Stop the shit. Cut it out. I know you're tired already. I know it's a long process, and this kid has been in mainstream, at least being one of the top receivers in this class for multiple years, so it's called prospect fatigue. You're a little tired. Don't do the silly shit. Ted McMillan is the top dog. He's the wide receiver one in this class. Spare me Luther Burden talk. We don't have to worry about Travis Hunter. He's going to the combine as a cornerback. Like, don't overthink this. 6'5", 210 pounds, 700-plus yards as a freshman, 1,400 yards as a damn sophomore, and even in a down junior year campaign, over 1,300 receiving yards. What are we talking about? 6'5", 210, can move after the catch, good in contested catch situations. I mean, this is an outside boundary wide receiver that can play in the slot, make plays after the catch. Tampa Bay replacing Chris Godwin with Tet McMillan, just the Twin Towers over again with Tet and Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield's happy. Tampa Bay offense is in a good spot. I don't know how the rest of the NFL would allow this to happen. I do not believe Ted's going to fall to 19, but if he does, this is a home run pick for Tampa Bay. Colston Loveland at 20 takes Denver takes Colston Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan, at pick 20. Sean Payton, he gets his joker. This is a player maybe not quite as versatile as Tyler Warren. You don't want him running the ball, doing shit like that, but he can line up all over. In line, flexed outside. He can play on the outside, in the slot, H-back role. He can do multiple things for Sean Payton. They need a tight end. This would be good for Bo Nix's maturation and development. I love the pick, Colston Loveland to the Broncos. Ashton Jeanty, the RB1 in the class, goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Najee Harris is gone. Past 2 drafts, they have beefed up the offensive line. Troy Fautanu, Broderick Jones. They went out and brought some guys in. McCormick in the middle. Found some guys a little bit later. Now let's get you an explosive back. Now let's get you a top playmaker, because in this division, you got to figure out, you got to understand, they're probably not going to get the type of quarterback that can go toe-to-toe with Lamar, that can go toe-to-toe with Burrow. So what do you need? Let's play ball-controlled offense. Let's have a strong defense. Let's get one of the most dynamic running back prospects we've seen enter the NFL, at least over the last 5 years. And let's get this guy in our offense and pair him up with Jaylen Warren, run the ball, control it, and gain explosives through our running game. It was an interesting phenomenon that we saw this year with Philadelphia. A lot of times when you think of explosives, at least offensively, you're looking at the passing attack, getting the ball downfield, producing 20-plus yard pass attempts, 30-plus yard passing plays. We saw Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry generate those explosives out of the backfield. Bucky Irving, Jahmyr Gibbs, now insert the name Ashton Jeanty, who I believe can produce the same type of explosive plays for whatever team he lands on. And with Mike Tomlin still in the fold, with Arthur Smith still in the fold, they would utilize him to the best of his skill set, to the best of his ability. And having Jaylen Warren there alongside him, you don't have to give him 400 damn touches. You can keep him fresh, let him be explosive. Love the 1-2 fit in Pittsburgh. A lot of the mocks, Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver. If Jeanty falls here to 21, this would be a home run pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. At 22, the Chargers go running back as well. They take Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. It's a top-heavy group. You know, those guys at the top, they're all vying for that RB2, RB3 spot. Right now, today, my RB2 in the class is Iowa's Caleb Johnson. So I would rather see Caleb Johnson in LAC, but Omarion Hampton is a very, 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 very close third. Incredible player. Chargers need running back help. He could work well in the receiving game as well with Justin Herbert. I think it's a good fit, whether it's Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson, Omarion Hampton, Dylan Sampson. Running back class is loaded. Chargers are going to take 1, if not 2, in this draft. They get Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. Green Bay, Josh Simmons, O-tackle out of Ohio State, falling to 23. Packers fans, they've got to feel good about this one as well. This kid, had not been for the injury, probably is the true tackle one off of the board. Dominating game, physical. If that ACL is good, this is a great pick for Green Bay. Helps out Jordan Love, helps out Josh Jacobs. Love Josh Simmons here at 23. At 24, Daniel Jeremiah said, fuck it, let's go. 3 running backs. Travion Henderson at pick 24 goes to the Minnesota Vikings. They need defensive line help. They need defensive back help. So now we're saying that you get your Jahmyr Gibbs in Minnesota and Travion Henderson. Let me just say this. He ain't Gibbs. He is not Jahmyr Gibbs. They are 2 different players. I think Gibbs has got more juice, more explosiveness. He's more twitched up than that of Travion Henderson. But Henderson has something in this class that I don't think many other backs have. That dynamic element, that home run playability, the receiving game. I don't know if he's as refined of a receiver as people like to talk about, but he can catch the ball out of the backfield and create those explosives. Minnesota probably has some other priorities as well, but grabbing Henderson here at 24, it's a luxury pick. It's a pick that I believe Kevin O'Connell would use him to the best of his capabilities. We saw how good Aaron Jones was last year, but he's going to be a free agent. So right here at 24, the Vikings bypass some of the corners on the board. They don't take a defensive tackle. They go with an explosive offensive playmaker because they understand that this division, the NFC North, we got to score points. Yes, we got to stop. Got to stop Jordan Love. Got to stop Jared Goff in that running attack, but then we got to be able to score. Travion Henderson helps them do that. Here at pick 24, Big Hendo off of the board. And then we get 3 straight Ohio State. 1, 2, and 3, the Houston Texans. Easy fit, easy pairing. Emeka Egbuka. The reason why I don't mock him there is because he's not on the board by the time we get to 25. This is a normal, typical spot for Luther Burden III out of Missouri. But right here, C.J. Stroud reunites with his collegiate teammate, Emeka Egbuka. And I believe right out the gate, he and Nico Collins would work beautifully in tandem with one another. People would be like, oh, yeah, C.J. Stroud is back. Emeka Egbuka, 25 to the Texans. Love it. Rams take Darius Alexander, disruptive D-tackle out of Toledo. This dude was a monster during his week in Mobile, and here he is in round 1. So the Rams, they got Braden Fisk, Jerry Verse, Byron Young, and now you're adding Darius Alexander. They are truly taking the Philadelphia approach and just say, we are going to load up on the defensive front, and we're going to cause hell for opposing offenses. Darius Alexander out of Toledo goes to the Rams. At 27, Shamar Stewart falls to Baltimore. I've seen Stewart as high as pick 8 in the draft. Hell, pick 7. I think somebody had him to the Jets, and here he is at pick 27. Baltimore just seemingly always gets good players. Shamar Stewart on this Ravens defense that struggled at times this year. Love this pick. Love the fit in Baltimore. The Lions take Donovan Jackson, a versatile offensive lineman. Played some tackle when Simmons went down, was guard before that. So you've got the versatility to put him inside, outside. Kevin Zeitler might leave in free agency. You replace him with Donovan Jackson. He's plug and play, ready to go. Continues to keep that offense efficient and that running game damn good. So Donovan Jackson of the Lions. I like it. The Commanders take linebacker Jaheed Campbell for the Commanders. He's a great player. He is an incredible player. I just beg the question, would potentially an edge rusher have made more sense in Dan Quinn's defense? Cornerback, maybe. I know Commanders fans are like, I don't want to take another corner. We've done that too many times. Offensively, I mean, you got Luther Burden on the board right here at 29. Talk about getting Jaden Daniels help, getting him weapons. You hope the Ben Sinnott takes a step forward. You hope he takes a step forward next year in year 2. Terry McLaurin is due for a big deal. But that wide receiver 2 chair was Olamide Zaccheaus. You have De'Ami Brown. And right here at 29, you take the off-ball linebacker ahead of Luther Burden, ahead of – I don't know about this pick. I think Luther Burden with Jaden Daniels would be an incredible fit, good compliment to Terry McLaurin. Campbell is a dope linebacker, but I think right here I would have gone Luther Burden. Daniel Jeremiah says Jaheed Campbell out of Alabama. Let's go pick 30, Buffalo Bills. Bills fans keep telling me in the comments, yo, we don't need a receiver. I do it in round 2 and get griped at. Here's DJ right here in round 1. Buffalo Bills take Matthew Golden out of Texas. I believe they do. I think they do need another receiver. Yes, cornerback, sure, no linebacker. We got that. We're not going to do it. D-line, yes, you can prioritize that, but the D-line class is loaded. Talik Williams is still on the board. No Derek Harmon off of the board. Dayon Walker, Alfred Collins. I mean, the D-line class is stacked, so you don't have to force that here at pick 30. Matthew Golden's a top 5 receiver in this class, if not a little bit higher. You get somebody that can help out Josh Allen. I don't know if Dalton Kincaid is it. Keon Coleman showed flashes. Khalil Shakir, good in the slot, but it's Josh Allen getting him over the hump. What can we do offensively in Buffalo to help him get over that hump? And I know defense is a big thing, but get him another playmaker. Get him a guy that does something a little different than what they have. I like that for Buffalo and Matthew Golden here at pick 30. At 31, the Kansas City Chiefs, we saw how bad they got belt put the ass in the Super Bowl. That O-line is a problem. They got Josh Connerly out of Oregon. They've got to protect Mahomes. They've got to get a running game too. So at some point, the Kansas City Chiefs have got to invest at that position. At 31, they take Josh Connerly. And then the final pick in this mock, and this is blasphemy. This is blasphemous. All 31 teams should be ashamed. All 31, even the Tennessee Titans picking 101 should be ashamed. Because if Tennessee's picking 101 and they see Malachi Starks falling to 32, they should be trying to move up out of the second round to get this kid. I mean, Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia, day 1 starter since his freshman season. We're all excited about Caleb Downs and what he's going to do next year out of Ohio State. Malachi Starks was Caleb Downs before Caleb Downs. He started out the gate at Georgia and was dominant in the pass coverage game. He could play box safety. He can stop the run. He can get after the quarterback. He can do it all. He's the best safety prospect in this class. He's a plug-and-play day 1 starter. And, we're just going to give Philadelphia another secondary member with Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. I don't know what his contract situation is like. They took Sidney Brown. He got injured a couple of years ago, but you've got Quinyon Mitchell. You've got Big Play Slay. They took you. You add Malachi Starks to this defense that is literally just Georgia of the NFL. Unfair. Love the pick. Steal of this mock. Malachi Starks to the Philadelphia Eagles at 32. Now let's talk about some players that were not in this mock, and I'm just going to go back to his 1.0. Let's just go back to his 1.0. Let's see what he did in this one and some players that aren't in there. So Carter, Ward. We did not see Luther Burden. Luther Burden was not in his round one of his mock. Walter Nolan a little bit higher. There's Jaheed Campbell. Nick Emanwari, the safety out of South Carolina, not in round one of his mock. 6'3", 227, physical, box safety. Gives him some Derwin James vibes is what he's saying, and he can play, man. He's a ball hawk, too, even at that size. Starks went to 24th overall to the Vikings, and there's Luther Burden III going to the Houston Texans at 25 in his mock before this one. Ezariah Thomas, cornerback out of Florida State. I like Ezariah Thomas a lot, so to not see him in round one, that's tough. The Commanders, they didn't get Josh Simmons here. They took the other cat. They took another position. I've already forgotten who it was. Derek Harmon wasn't in this one. James Pierce, also not in Jeremiah's round two, so mock 2.0. So no James Pierce, no Luther Burden. Some of the I guess notable omissions from this mock. So no, we're not going to do a round two off of this. I just wanted to take a look at what DJ had, talk about some of the players, some of the fits. No Jackson Dart in round one. We got Omarion Hampton, 3 running backs. Matthew Golden makes his way in. So Matthew Golden, not Luther Burden, off of the board as the 3rd wide receiver in this mock. We had 2 tight ends, not 3. This is a good class. I don't know why people are saying that this class is bad. It may not be strong at the quarterback position. There may be a couple of spots, but that's every single year. By and large, teams are going to walk away from this thing with quality players in rounds 1, rounds 2. We just did the 3-round mock. Tons of players in this draft class. Love taking a look at other people's boards and seeing, how people are feeling about these players. So holla at me in the comments. Where do you think DJ was right? Where do you think he was wrong? Where do you think you have some of these guys that maybe weren't included in round 1, or some of these cats that you think are way, way too high? I know some people think that some of these guys are way too high. No way Will Campbell's going round 4. Let me know in the comments below. We're just talking ball, baby. Make sure you check out all the content on this channel. Ollie Gordon profile going up tomorrow. We've got the mock off of the mock that's already on the channel, the video right before this one. And for you fantasy football crazies, go to DDFFB, DD Fantasy Football YouTube channel, doing rookie mocks, all types of fantasy football shit, just about every single day on YouTube. Y'all have a good one. Be blessed. Stay safe. Stay warm out there in them streets. And I'll see y'all later on, man. Happy draft season. I'm out. Peace.